Good morning. Today's adventure is brought to you by the cab of my truck. No, not really. We are once again early morning in the Smoky Mountains. This is my final hike of my trip down here, and I'm really looking forward to it. Right now we are at a place called Newfound Gap Overlook, which is a really awesome overlook heading out. It's kind of in the middle of the Smokies, heading out to Klinsman's Dome. It's just a pull off on the side of the road here. But the Appalachian Trail runs right through here, and then it continues on north, following a pretty cool ridge, which we're going to go be checking out, to a nice little rock outcropping called Charlie's Bunion. And that's what we're going to be exploring today. Once again, it is a very popular hike, so that's why we are here in the early mornings. It's about 5:45. We're going to get going shortly. My last video started around this early, and the first few videos were very much in the dark because it's still very dark out here. So I figured I'd take my opening video here with a little bit of unnatural light with the truck cab lights on here. So yeah, that's about it. We are going to get going shortly here and go check out some more of the Smoky Mountains. Okay, well, here we get going here. Like I said, we're on the Appalachian Trail. We only got about 2,000 miles till we get to Maine. But it is certainly a Smoky Mountain type of morning. It's getting pretty foggy out here, which is not going to help with my with the light getting out here. When I'm using my flashlight, it just reflects right off of the smoke that's coming in. So it makes it for a little bit more difficulty. But hey, sunrise should be in about an hour and a half. Maybe I got here a little too early, but this should be fun and challenging, and that's why we do these things. So let's get this show on the road here. So we are well onto the trail at this point. I haven't taken many videos because well, like I said before, it's just been too dark. But the sun has definitely come up now. The trail has been it's been real pretty and real easy so far. Now, like I said before, we're going to this rock structure out here, so we're not climbing a peak this time. So the trail hasn't just been going uphill the entire time. We've been going up and down and up and down and up and down, which is kind of fun because when I'm down right now, it's just been normal walking. But when I go up, it gets me a little bit more elevated and gets me into the smoke of the Smoky Mountains. I don't know if you're able to see that with the camera pointing up like that, but yeah, it's definitely smoky up there, which has its own creates its own issues. Obviously I'm hiking, so I'm sweating, but this smoke mist does not allow me to dry off whatsoever, so I'm going to be wet the entire time. I don't know if you can see it right there. Yeah, but it's pretty thick. We just made our way to a junction here. This is my second junction. This is where we're going to continue on the Boulevard Trail. We're going to hit up the jump off probably on the return trip. And then you can see Mount LeConte is 5.3 miles away. Mount LeConte, I hiked that a couple days prior to this, and I made another video if you want to go check that one out. Apologies on that video because the first few minutes are just totally in darkness, because, well, I fired my light guy. He just wasn't holding up his end of the bargain, so I had to get rid of him. This is a professional YouTube channel stuff, so we can't have amateur stuff going on, so we had to fire that guy. I know, of course, it was much too dark in the morning to do that, so we this is only going to be like an 8-mile long hike. Not that far considering what I normally do, and like I said, it's not going to be all uphill either, so we should be able to make even better time than normal. So like I said, we're going to pass the jump off. I'm going to hit that up on the way back, and the jump off is actually going to give us a pretty decent view of where we're going. So probably shouldn't even be talking about that right now. Talk about that on the return trip, but hey, we call that a teaser, right? All right, so this is another trail sign. Let's see what this one says. Oh, here we go, jump off right there. So like I said, we'll be hitting that off on the way back. And but right now, going forward, you see the trail's going up. It's getting a little smokier as we ascend back into the tops here and make our way to Charlie's Bunion. So like I said, this hike started out at Newfoundland Gap parking area, and the Appalachian Trail goes right through there, and then you just pick up the Appalachian Trail and start hiking this way. I learned yesterday that a gap is a geological term that's pretty much just like the valley between two mountains. That's really not all that interesting, because I knew that before, but what I didn't know is that different areas call them different things. Up in the Northeast, they call them notches. And again, if you watch any of my other videos, you have Franconia Notch, where I did the Falling Waters Trail and the Flume Slide Trail. So Franconia Notch is up there, and also Pinkman Notch, which is where you start off on Mount Washington. So they call them gaps down in the south, notches up in the northeast, and then out west they call them passes. And the only example that I can remember for that would be the Donner Pass, named after the Donner family, if you're familiar with that little bite of American history. That Donner Party, bite of American history, that was a pretty good joke. Anyway, we are descending a little bit right now to get to where we're going to go. It's, again, I said before, this place is called Charlie's Bunion, and yeah, I'm going to have to rant real quick for it. One of the more stupider names I've heard of some type of landmark in these national parks. It's the founding story for this name is they named it after some guy's foot. I'm just totally flabbergasted. I'm speechless. I'm sure the Cherokee probably had some badass, respectable name like, I don't know, the Great Horned Owl Nesting Perch or Eagle Soar or something, but no, let's name it after some jackass's foot instead. But anyway, hopefully the outcropping is a lot better than its stupid name. We are probably about a mile out still. You see, sun's rising, drying up all the smoke. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. We'll see when we get there what kind of views we're gonna get. It's still pretty wet out here. One thing I did notice on these trails is, you can see down here, I'm very noisily walking, and there's really no way I can stop it. And there's all these broken pieces of granite everywhere. I think it's called shale. We don't have that up north at all. And of course, there's rocks, but not these small little pieces where it's just, you know, it's like you're walking on coins or gravel the whole way. It's I'm not going to sneak up on anyone on these trails, that's for sure. But hey, on the bright side, no one's probably going to sneak up on me either. So, just not a complaint, just an observation I made. All right, let's. Ooh, it's still a little too wet out here. All right, probably next time I check in, we will be at the stupid foot rock. Just a real cool portion of the trail that we're on right now. This is big time in the back country of the Smoky Mountains. I mentioned before that I hiked Mount LeConte earlier this week, and that was also in the back country, but a little bit closer to population. This is nowhere near population. You could probably scream and no one can hear you out here. I'm really enjoying it. So, slight change of plans. We took a little bit of a wrong turn back there, and we had to backtrack. But that's fine. And in order to cut our little detour even shorter, we decided to go. I keep saying we, but it's just me up here. Decided to go ahead and do the jump off first, and then cut right on through to Charlie's Bunion. And I'm not sure where the jump off is. There's not an actual trail sign for it, from what I was reading. This might be it. I don't know. We'll take a look. But here's our spectacular view of the Smokies. What are you gonna do? It's the Smokies. Just another portion of the jump off area here. You see, it's that's why they call it the jump off.
Alright, so just to document, this is not the best idea I've ever had, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. According to the map, if I just cut through this stretch of woods here and bushwhack a little, I'll meet back up with the trail that I'm supposed to be on, continue my way to Charlie's Bunion. It shouldn't take too long. That's famous last words, I know, but I'm pretty confident that we can shave some time off by doing this. So hopefully next time I check in with you guys, I'll be on a real trail, not this bushwhacking stuff. So obviously this is not recommended for anyone to do, because like I said prior, we are definitely in the backcountry and it's real easy to get turned around. But I was fairly confident that I could find my way through those two trails. It was only about maybe a third, half mile of wilderness I had to go through, and I said before that it's always kind of been a dream of mine to be in the backcountry and off trail and just on your own. So that's a little slice of the of what I was trying to go for. But hey, here we are again, back on the Appalachian Trail. So we are safe and sound, and it's going to be hard to get lost on this one. So that was a super fun little detour. Let's continue to our goal, and yeah, put a button on it. Potential hazards. Be careful. I just came across my first people that I met out here. I actually ended up passing them. I'm pretty sure I started before they did, but they probably passed me on my little bushwhacking detour that I had. But we're ahead of them now, and on this little side trail, they call them spurs, out to Charlie's Bunion. Cliff face over here, and on this side, you can see smoke's clearing up, and I'm pretty sure up there where the smoke is billowing past, that's the lookout that I was just at. And again, cliffs to the right, cool structures here. Oh, here we go. This is it, folks. This is the great horned owl's hunting perch. There we go. Up. Oh, nice and smooth from everyone being up here. All right. Well, of course, we're gonna have to climb out to that one too. Look at this view here. There's billowing smoke coming through. Craziness. Let's see what we can do down here. Don't want to get too close to this edge, because that looks like it's a long way down. All right. This would be a good photo opportunity, but it's just me up here. Cool. All right, here we go. Okay, so that was Charlie's Bunion. I gotta climb this, see if it's any better up there. I'm not gonna be able to hold the GoPro while I do it, so I'll check in when I'm on top. More rocky climb. Well, there we have it, folks. Charlie's Bunion hike has been hiked. I'm sure you can't tell, but I've already taken videos in this section of the trail before. But that was my beginning videos, which was way too dark for you guys to pick up on any of that stuff. So let's go through the numbers. We have 3.5 hours of hiking time, 9.3 miles. elevation gain of just over 2,300 feet. But again, this wasn't a peak hike, and this was just out to an outcropping, so not too much elevation, but super cool hike. One of the more popular hikes on this trail, and I passed scores and scores of people on the way back. Only met those two guys at the actual outcropping itself, but lots of people are heading on the trails now. We're as you can probably see behind me, we're back in the parking lot. Just gonna climb this little monument right here. This is a cool little monument that I have up here. This is actually where Roosevelt gave a coronation speech to declare the Smoky as part of a national park. So they did this and they just kept it up here. Again, the smoke is coming in pretty good, so you can't see too much. So little after action review. Charlie's Bunion hike has been hiked. Where does this stand in my my ranking of hikes? Frankly, this was pretty high up there. I really enjoyed this hike. I enjoyed this way more than Mount LeConte that I did earlier this week. Not that LeConte was bad, but this just had a lot more really fun stuff to do. The guy just drove by on a motorcycle with a crash test dummy on the back of it. That's odd. Okay, so back to my hike. You know, despite taking a wrong turn and getting lost and starting the hike in the pitch dark, this will go down memorably as one of my more favorite hikes, to be honest with you. I think starting off in the dark might become a new thing for me. I really enjoyed walking these trails in the dark. It brings a little bit more backcountry-ish feeling to the backcountry because you really can't tell where you're going. It just adds to the experience. But not only that, then the bushwhacking that I did was super cool. The rock outcrop itself was super cool. Then that little scramble that I was able to do. We don't get too many of those down here in the South, so take that opportunity every time I get it. Yeah, super fun time. If you have the opportunity to be out here, definitely. If you have one hike to do, I would totally suggest the Charlie Bunion hike. Super fun. Get here early because it's very popular. Probably you don't have to get here at 6, and that might be a little too early unless you want to hike in the dark because it's super cool. Other than that, hey, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoy the video and be awesome to each other and don't litter.